Hello, my dear friends. This is Santosh Rathi, and today I am going to start with the 100-hour plan for the NEET physics. Myself, Santosh Rathi, and I am going to start this introduction for the 100-hour plans, and which will be helpful for both JEE and NEET aspirants. Okay, let's start with the my introduction. Myself, Santosh Rathi, and I have completed my BE mechanical in 2015. Then I started to work as a maintenance engineer in Oriental Containers Limited, where I was working as a maintenance engineer, and side by side I was teaching into the renowned institute over there as a physics faculty. Then for a long time I taught there in the different institute in Mumbai, and currently I have started my own institute in Maharashtra Latur district, that is with the name Rathi's Edu-Care Private Limited. I am director over there from last 2 years. Here also I am teaching as a physics faculty in the core subject. My core subject is a physics. So let's begin with the important topic, that is 100 hour plans for the physics, which is going to be for the NEET. This is my syllabus for the class 11, which you can find in the screen. See, let's find the syllabus. Here is the NEET syllabus, which is for the class 11, and if you can see on the next slide, it is the syllabus for the again NEET for the class 12. So in 100 hours, obviously it is not possible to cover all the important chapters from all in chapters from the class 11. So we will deal with the very important few major topics which are repeatedly asked in the exams. So brief introduction for the chapters here are physical word and measurement, that can be units and measurement. 20% weightage, 6% weightage for the kinematics, 7% for the laws of motion, and then you can see the major weightage is for thermodynamics, that is kinetic theory of the gases and thermodynamics, the 20% weightage. And again in the here the motion of the system, gravitation, you can see the orange part. So I am going to cover 5 topics from the class 11 and 5 topics from the class 12, which will be very important as an exam point of view. So let's go ahead with the class 12th chapter, that is class 12th NEET chapter wise weightage. Here you can see the electromagnetic waves, that is current electricity, 23% weightage. Here dual nature of the light, which I will cover here at the 23% of the weightage. Magnetic effect of electric current and magnetism at 10% of weightage. Again optics and wave optics, that is and also it contains electromagnetic radiation, so which is going to be containing a 10% weightage. So let's start the 100-hour plan with chapter wise and percentage wise time distribution. Here is the time distribution, and also 100 hours, 40 plus 30 plus 30, this kind of distribution for the 100 hours bifurcation, you can say. First, 40% weightage is for theory. Theory 40%, it means you will get 40 hours for the theory part, and it will not just be a theory lectures, including few types of question answer type of questions. Here 40 lectures for the theory, 30 lectures for the poll sessions on the respected theory, and 30 lectures for the PYQ. See, I'm going to cover 10 chapters here, and 5 chapters from the class 11 and 5 chapters from the class 12. From on the screen you can find on this slide 5 chapters from the class 11. That is a very first chapter and very important chapter, that is units and measurement, which always you will get a 1 to 2 questions in the NEET exam. That is here the units and measurement. Along with that I will touch vectors as well. Now the second chapter is gravitation, which carries two questions can be from the gravitation. Also very important topic, work, energy and power, that is 2 questions expected from here. Mechanical properties of the solids and fluid, very important and chapter, that is again 2 questions and very important. Thermodynamics again from the class 11 contains 3 chapters. So as you can see, I am having a total 40 hours in my hand. So here is the bifurcation. 40 hours for the theory, it means 10 chapter. So here you can see 4 into 10, that is 40 lectures, Each chapter will carry these all the chapters, 10 chapters you can see on the screen. I will be covering these chapters as a 4 plus 3 plus 3. As you can already see in the screen, there is 4 for the lectures, theory lectures, 3 for the poll session. Very, very important and fast poll session, rapid fire poll session I will be conducting, and 3 for the previous year questions. If previous year questions I can cover in the 2 lectures, then I will be covering more and more questions on this 3 poll sessions. So this can be the scene, that is 4 for the theory, 3 for the poll session, and 3 for the previous year questions and rapid fire question answers you can say. So this is the bifurcation for the class 11th. I am completing these 5 chapters, and for the class 12th, these are the 5 chapters, that is from the magnetic effect of electric current and magnetism. Secondly, atoms, molecules, atoms and nuclei, their dual nature and radiations of the matter. Third, that is ninth chapter, that is fourth from the class 12, ray optics and optical instruments, wave optics, that is the last chapter, which is having a only one or two questions you can expect. But this is the magnetism, which is the sixth chapter I will be covering after 50 lectures. That will be from the effect of electric current. So this will be very quick revision for the physics aspirant, NEET and JEE aspirant as well. Okay, so let's begin with a very short demo lectures for this. That is, I'm choosing a topic from the gravitation, which is a variation of the G. Always one or two questions are there from this gravitation chapter. So I'm covering this topic, variation of G. What is G here? G is the acceleration due to gravity. Variation of the G on the Earth's surface, that is with the respect to altitude, first one, with respect to depth, second one, along with the Earth's surface. So that is, see, Earth is not exactly round shape. Earth is a somewhat bulge at the equator and shorter at the pole. You can find here the radius is a smaller at the pole and big at the equator. So the value of the G is a minimum at the equator and G is a maximum at the pole. Okay, this is the variation of G along with the Earth's surface. There is no expression as such for the variation of G along with the Earth's surface. So I'm going to cover the variation of G with the altitude. See, here is the Earth's surface with the radius R, and if you are going to find this is a point P at a height H. So the value expression for the G, as you know, capital G is equal, small g is equal to capital G, capital M upon R square. Here capital M is the mass of the Earth, capital G is acceleration due to gravity. Now here the value of a GH at a height h, which is equal to, again G will be the same, but mass is again same because it is a Earth, but radius is R plus h the whole square. Now if I am dividing taking the ratio, that will be GH upon G. GH upon G is equal to, it is a inverse relation, R square upon R plus h the whole square, which is equal to, I can say, R upon R plus h the whole square. On dividing it further by R, you will be getting the answer as a 1 upon 1 plus h by R the whole square. See, if you want to take a capital small g in terms of GH, which is equal to 1 plus h by r raised to minus 2, because of the inverse relation. This is going to be in the numerator, that is minus 2. By the binomial expansion, you will be getting this as a 1 minus 2h upon r, neglecting the other terms. So the relationship for this capital G, GH and G. GH stands for the acceleration due to gravity at altitude with a height h, that is G into 1 minus 2h by r. So here you can see that the gravity is inversely proportional to r square, inversely proportional to r square. Here is the inverse relation, and this is the expression for the gravity at a height h or altitude h. This is equal to G into 1 minus 2h up by r. GH is equal to G into 1 minus 2h upon r. Let's move ahead with the value of G with respect to depth. That is, see, with respect to depth, suppose if you are going to deep inside the earth, it is at point D, the radius is going to be r minus d here, and the original radius is r. See, the originally the value of the g was g is equal to gm upon r square, but this time with respect to depth the mass is not going to be same. The mass at the depth is going to be m dash upon r minus d the whole square. But in previous at the altitude, yes, the mass of the earth was same here, this, but this time this is a m dash. Now as you know that the density, the formula for density is equal to mass upon volume, so mass is equal to density into volume. I can say here density is same for both. See, this much portion you need to neglect because of the only consideration here is the with respect to depth. This is the only required portion which will be effective applying the force, which is effective for the applying the force. Now the original volume was 4 by 3 pi r cube, but with respect to the depth d, the volume will change. Now putting this formula here in this expression, so you will be getting as g d as equal to g as it is. The value for m dash is density into volume. Volume will be 4 by 3 pi. R is r minus d the whole cube, r minus d the whole cube upon r minus d the whole square. Now this thing is going to be cancelled out with the cube. Now you can see here 4 by 3 is a constant, g is a constant, rho is a constant, pi is a constant. It only relation valid is r minus d. So the same expression you will be getting as 4 by 3 g rho pi and r. Now if I'm going to divide these two things, you will be getting the ratio. The ratio of gd to the g is equal to r minus d upon r. Here on taking gd separately, g into 1 minus d by r. So this is the expression for the value of a g with respect to depth. You can clearly see the difference between the capital g with respect to h, that is acceleration due to gravity at altitude, is g into 1 minus 2h by r, and here is the value g into 1 minus d by r. Hope you understand these two expressions, and these two expressions will be very helpful for the numericals point of view and the MCQ point of view. Here is the variation of the g with respect to altitude and with respect to depth. See, this is the r. R stands for the radius of earth. Up to radius of earth, this is 0 means it is the center of the earth. From center of the earth, the value of the g keeps on increasing till it comes to the surface of the earth. On the surface of the earth, g is a maximum. Here g is a maximum. If you go reverse, the g will be minimum. So with respect to d, you can clearly find